Today on the show, I'm going to be giving you some stories, sharing some personal stories, and then really walking you through a framework on how to empower people with belief. This is going to be so crucial. I've seen this in my own life, and I've been able to do this in the lives of others. And I've watched it done well, and I've watched it done poorly. So I really hope that you think through in your own life how this relates and then how you can use this in the life of others.
Welcome to Advance with Mike Acker, the podcast designed to help entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professionals alike break through barriers by improving their practical leadership skills and increasing confidence in speaking. Your host is a best-selling author, executive coach, and founder of the Advance Public Speaking School and Advantage Publishing Group, two companies dedicated to providing an edge for leaders. Find out more about Mike at mikeacker.com. Now here's your host, Mike Acker.
My mom sat me down when I was about 15 years old and said, "It's time for you to hear your dad's story." And as she regaled me with all kinds of exploits that my dad had embarked on, one of the things that really stayed with me was how my grandfather treated my dad. My grandfather once told my dad, "You will never amount to anything." That's talking about unbelief. Now, really, as you saw in the title and really even in the introduction, I want to tell you how to empower people with belief and do the exact opposite. See, I have been able to observe by watching my dad throughout his life and how demoralizing that was to him and how much he has worked very, very hard to really make an incredible life for him and for his family. Belief is absolutely important. So I want to walk you through how you can empower people with belief. And I want to tell you some stories. This is my show. Glad that you tuned in today. Make sure that you share it with others, that you like it, that you comment it on the podcast or the YouTube. Just a reminder, this is a one-shot, no edit show. So sometimes there's some flubs and there's no corrections, but I just keep on going. Let's start. Why is belief so important? Maybe even write this down. Know why belief is so important. My dad's dad didn't believe in him, and it demoralized him. It felt like he wasn't supported. Now think about that word. If you don't feel supported, then you won't give your weight to it. If you look at a chair and say, "Oh no, that chair, there's no way that chair is going to support my weight," then you won't sit down on it. But if you believe in that chair, then hey, I'll sit down on it. I'm tired. I want to sit down. There's a chair. It will support me. I'll sit down. Belief brings support to the people that you love. It brings support to the people that you want to care about. It brings support to the people on your team, in your life, in every area. Recently, I was playing baseball with my son. He joined a T-ball league that's now open. It's all incredible outdoors, COVID safe. So if you're all wondering about that. And as I watched my son play, I realized that I hadn't practiced with him as much as everybody else. And so I'm watching him going, I believe he can do it. So that's why I put him in it. But with the current skill set, he's not there yet. Well, after one time where he got tagged out, he comes to me and he said these words, "I'm terrible, aren't I?" And he's 5 years old and he's watching this and he said this. And I responded to him. I said, "You're a beginner." And then since then, we've been working on baseball every single day. And I have been able to support him and believe in him. And as he does things that are good, it reinforces what I'm saying to him. And so I'm not just verbally saying I believe, but my belief in him is translated into actions. And so my actions are supporting this. See, that's why you got to understand that belief in people is so valuable, because when backed with actions, when backed with a plan, it supports you. Think through in some times in your own life where someone believed in you. Now think through how that affected you. Maybe it was a boss. Maybe it was someone who gave you a job that you didn't even think you could do. But the mere fact that they gave you the job, you thought, wow, I'm able to do this. Or maybe it was some huge obstacle. And they said, I believe you can get out of debt. You join a Dave Ramsey or something like that, one of those groups that helps you manage your money and get out of debt. And the leader says, you can do this, you got this. And you're watching the show or you're listening to the audiobook and you go, I can do this. I can do this. I know that was for me when I was in my 20s and was in debt. I listened to his audiobook and thought, I can do that. His belief, and it's supported by his teaching, led me to the goal that I wanted. There's been other times in my own life. I write about this in my book, Speak With No Fear. And in that book, I talk about my debate coach, Gary Gillespie. He saw something in me and he gave me his belief. He said, I got you. I believe you. You could be a great communicator. You don't have to just meander through this. You can do this. You don't have to be like someone else. You can develop your own style. You've got this. You can do this. But that belief, see, real belief is always supported by action. And his belief led him to invite me to join the debate team, and it led to him coaching me. So know why belief is important and know what belief really is. That belief is support backed by actions. So why is belief so important? Why is it? Because it supports people. I want you right now, think about a couple people in your own life that you need to believe, that you need to support through actions. Then think through a plan on how you can lend your belief to them. This might be in terms of leadership, seeing that potential in someone, saying, I believe in you and I'm going to help you realize your potential. It might be in terms of communication. You're talking to people and you're going to give them the tools that they need in order for them to excel. As one who has trained really hundreds and hundreds of speakers at this point, I have been able to believe in people in very tangible action through my programs, through one-on-one coaching, through additional resources and books. So that belief is so vital because now they see themselves as bigger and more and beyond what they currently are. My dad's dad didn't believe in him and it demoralized him. My dad believed in me and it's given me strength and encouragement. And I believe in my son. And it makes him smile and it makes him step up to the plate all the more. So back up your belief with support and actions and put it out there so that you can bring out the most in your team. Think through. Here's a caution. Think through your actions. Do your actions say, I believe in you, you can do this? Or do your actions say, I don't believe in you, you can't do this? If you're a micromanager, I'm going to caution you, it essentially tells your team that you don't believe in them. It tells them that they don't know what they're doing, that really you are needed and you're the person in charge. And micromanagement will sap the energy, sap the morale out of people. Even though my father's dad, my grandpa, really didn't believe in my dad, he at least did some different actions that put my dad out there and it gave him an empowerment to do some different things. So even though the words and the other types of support weren't there, at least he put him in situations that really challenged my dad to rise up so that my dad was able to see that he did well and believe in himself. So know why belief is so important and really where belief comes from. And now, when it comes to believing in others, second thing, I want you to write this down. This is going to sound kind of random. Here it goes. Ready? Stay vague. Stay vague. When you give your belief to someone, stay vague. Let me tell you a story. I was talking to a guy named Bo. Fantastic guy. He was in leadership in the military. He was a sergeant in some role, and I don't understand all the classifications always, but at that point in time, he was a sergeant of some role. And he comes to me and he says, Mike, I feel like I missed it. It turns out that when he was about 19 years old, he had a religious leader say, man, Johnny Bo, that's his name. Johnny Bo, you're just amazing. I see great potential in you. What Bo picked up at that point in time was that the religious leader saw the ability within him to do the same type of religious leadership that his mentor was doing. So he didn't see just, hey, I got potential. Someone believes in me. Instead, he saw, I got that type of potential. Sometimes when we believe in people, we put them into a mold that they don't fit in. And so we get very specific. I believe you can do my job. Well, if you're a CEO and you've got this degree and this education and that experience, and you say that to somebody, I believe you can do my job, instead of I believe that you have what it takes to accomplish your goals, then it puts them into your mold. I realized this potentially in my own life as well. As a young person, I had a communicator say, I believe in you. Well, at that point in time, he was doing some incredible works. He didn't believe and support me. He put me into his mold. I believe you can do what I do. And unfortunately, that started making me think of trying to be like him instead of trying to be the best version of me. Contrast that person right there who said, I believe in you and you've got great potential, with Gary Gillespie. Gary Gillespie, my communication professor in college, my debate coach, he believed in me. He believed I could be the best version of me. This other person believed that I could be a version of him. So be very careful with how your words come across. When you lend your belief to someone, when you support them with actions, not saying, hey, I believe you could be another me. I believe you could do what I'm doing. I believe that you should follow my steps. But instead, you're really looking at who they are, and you're staying vague in terms of that potential. And you're saying, I'm here behind you. I believe in you. I'll support you. I will help you do what it takes to get where you want to go. So know why belief is so important, first of all. And then second, stay vague in it so that they're able to fill it in with their definition of success, with their definition of potential, not with your definition of potential. Don't fill that mold for them. Don't create that role for them. Instead, put the backing behind them, put the push behind them so they can find their own mold, their own role, their own place. Third, ready? Keep in it. Keep in it. This means that when you believe in someone, it's not a one-time deal. Like, you don't just walk up to someone like, I believe in you. You got great potential. You go for it. Well, that's only going to go so far. It might be encouraging in the moment, but then they're not really going to feel like you believe in them. Let me go back to some own experiences. When I was in my young adult stage of life, I had some people who saw some potential in me and said, we see potential in you. And then I never heard from them again. It was like, hey, I believe in you. I'm going to lend you my belief. You've got this. You're amazing. Goodbye. Think about this. If you're a parent, you go, I got you. I support you. I'm with you. And then leave your kids and abandon your kids. How's that going to affect the kids? The actions are going to speak louder than the words. So if you're just going to randomly fly by, I believe in you, be very careful that that's the type of relationship you have anyway. So if I'm speaking at an event and everybody knows that they're not going to see me again, it's just a one-time event, I might talk to somebody afterwards, or I might even in there talk about their potential and their ability to realize it. And I might be giving them some supportive actions, but they know that there's no relationship. I'm just a one-way talking to them. If I'm in a relationship with an employee and I'm talking to an employee, I was talking to MA and I said, you've got this. You're able to do this. And even though MA has now launched out on her own, we are still in contact, and she knows that she can continue to reach out to me. She knows that we have that relationship, that just because she doesn't work for me anymore doesn't mean that she's cut off from me. Because if I did, I would be saying, I don't really believe in you. We're done. That was only believing in you so far as it helped me. Don't be the manager or the boss or the professional or the colleague who only believes in people while you are in close proximity, which means be careful what you say and how you use the words. But at the same time, it means do it. So here's my last one. Lend your belief to someone else. It's so important. It's so important. Stay vague. Let them fill the belief up with their definition. As a parent, make sure that you're not trying to just turn your kids into another you. After all, they're a combination of you and your spouse, but at the same time, they're their own person. So really believe in them and pulling out the best of them. Be a Gary Gillespie instead of this unnamed individual who did a drop by and then cut me off. Don't be that person. It took it was a wound for that person to do that and then really leave my life and not do it anymore. It hurt. And as you can probably still tell, there's still some issue in there where it's like, ooh, ow. And then along the way, keep in it, stay in it. If I go back at the different people who've really believed in me in a different life, the ones that have really made the most impact and still make the most impact are the ones who stayed in it. So stay in it, keep at it, believe in them, because your belief will give them that power to absolutely soar. When I look about the success that my book has, Speak with No Fear, it's now the #1 ranked book on overcoming fear of public speaking. It just blows my mind as I realize that. I think through some of the people who believed in me along the way. Some friends like Lisa, like Rachel, like Josh said, this is good. You've got something. This will be helpful. Their belief, and they're staying in that belief, and their belief in me being me in it has really allowed my book to become what it has become. As you get in it, as you stay in it, as you lend your belief, it's going to be amazing to see what the people that you believe in do and accomplish. And who knows, someday they might go to do something or have a family or say something, and they might go, you know who helped me? It was, and then they'll say your name. There's no better feeling than knowing that you've elevated someone up and helped them realize their incredible, incredible potential. Not your incredible potential that you're putting them in, but their incredible potential. So lend someone your belief, but just do it this way. If this has been helpful, take a moment and subscribe, like, comment, and share. And tune in next week as we continue Advance with Mike Acker.
Thanks for listening to Advance with Mike Acker, a podcast designed to provide an edge for leaders through improving practical leadership skills and increasing confidence in speaking. Mike is a best-selling author and business owner who has helped many leaders increase their skills and their confidence, propelling them to new heights in their personal and professional endeavors. Join an incredible group of professionals taking the steps to become better leaders at connect.stepstoadvance.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.